Hello, everybody. Scott Golden here, Golden Opportunities Coaching. Welcome to those of you who are new. Welcome back to those of you who are seasoned veterans. And what we do around here is we bring about conversations about a variety of spiritual, emotional, and psychological topics. We do that hopefully every day. It's been a while. I've been away about a week, but hopefully going to be back here on a more consistent basis. And today we're going to talk about long-distance relationships with the advent of online dating and obviously people dealing with COVID who've never had to do a distance relationship before, even if it's across town. You might be dealing with distance in a new way. So there's 6 different stages of kind of that long-distance or distance-based relationship. I'm going to run through those now. The first is the choice that the person's worth it. So that's a series of conversations where it's like, hey, you know what? I don't want to lose you. And even though you're going across town or to the next city over or across the state or across the world, I don't want to lose you. So we make an active decision about staying together through the distance. And during that process, we also make kind of the boundaries. Don't date other people, or if you're about to date other people, tell me, or I'd need to hear from you twice a day, or I'd need to see you at least once every 8 weeks, or this is the time when that conversation is supposed to happen. If you don't have a conversation about those boundaries, you're setting the long-distance relationship up in terms of chances of failure. They go about 3 times more than couples that have those conversations. The next is the transition into the long distance. This is you spend as much time together near the end of your time in close physical proximity, and then you make the physical move. You figure out the cadence of communication. You figure out how to communicate better. During this stage, you might actually over-communicate because you're trying to make sure that the other person knows you're serious. You may also kind of communicate about things you didn't before, and more intentionally, again, to reestablish your commitment to the relationship. This stage can often be difficult because you're finding the boundary of how much is too much to include someone who is a physical distance away from you into your daily life. The next is acceptance of limits. It's the realization that they're not at your beck and call. They're not right around the corner or down the street or across town. And that no, there's certainly physical intimacy, be it sexual and non-sexual, intimacy of spending physical time together, whether it be watching TV or cooking a meal together, is eliminated. And you do need to go through the grief stages with that. However you grieve, there will be, on both sides, grief stages of that. If you are a good communicator with your partner, you actually may be able to articulate, hey, I'm kind of feeling lonely, or I'm feeling like I don't know how good this is going to go, but I don't want to lose you. I mean, the more transparent you are during this stage, the more you can actually strengthen the relationship because, number one, you learn to communicate about uncomfortable emotions, and number 2, you also begin to learn what the boundaries are. Maybe you decided to get into a long-distance relationship that was going to last a year, and you don't think it'll last a year. Perhaps one or both of you need to change plans. Maybe you've decided that you can, do this for 6 months, but not 12. That means somebody needs to make some different plans. Maybe you've decided I can do this, but I need to hear your voice at least twice a day, or I need to Skype with you at least once every 48 hours, or you'll learn what your limits are in terms of how much you can be away from the person, and the responsibility is on both people to figure out how to meet those expectations. Part of that also is missing out on doing day-to-day things with them, and there is some jealousy that exists with the process of connecting with them, connecting with other people, you connecting with other people, and you begin to go, is this really worth it? That's where you enter the doubt stage, and the doubt stage is very painful because many couples have difficulty in articulating, hey, I wonder if this is going to work. Maybe we need to take a break and reconvene when one of us gets back in town, or maybe we need to take a break until we finish school or finish this job we're in, or whatever it is that drew you away. Perhaps the conversation of a break needs to take place. Many couples find that doesn't have to happen if it's short term, but if you're a medium term or long term, long distance relationship, many times breaks take place in relationships. And the last one is the validation. Now, the couple that gets through validation understands that even from a distance, they value the long term potential and connectedness of the relationship greater than they value the happiness that they have of being with the person in the moment. As a person who has done a grand total of 2 long distance relationships over a span of several years back and forth, I can honestly say I prefer the long distance aspect to a relationship over having someone in my space on a day-to-day basis. I've done both, and I learn that I appreciate the person more when I have to be deliberate about the time I spend with them. And for me, the validation comes that I enjoy them more completely and fully when I do get to see them, or we get to spend a weekend, or we get to spend a week, or whatever it is. And that doesn't mean that for the right person that wouldn't change in who I am as a person, but you also need to be realistic within yourself. Do you really get enough validation from the continuation of your relationship to legitimize keeping going with something long distance, or have your needs grown, shifted, and changed in a manner that may require you to leave that person behind for a season, for a moment, whatever the case may be? So hopefully this is helpful to you. Until next time, keep your feet on the ground, your mind in the moment. Until next time, everybody.